What is up, America? This is Circus Toons, and welcome to the circus once again. So, this is a second part video to a video I just got done uploading, which was a motivational speech and talk on how the idea and attitudes of power, control, confidence, time, all these ideas and attitudes, how they're misinterpreted in our society, in the world today. That being said, for the people that don't want to go back and watch the first part of this video, I will give you a recap. So, I was talking about in the last video how confidence is not something that is a solitary, cemented, like if you don't have this attitude that these other individuals have, keep that word in mind, individuals. If you don't have the attitude or if you don't act the way these other individuals act, you don't have confidence, which does not make any sense at all. Another thing I said was that time can be a horrible habit, or it can become a habit. And what I mean by that is people that are way too obsessed and they associate time to every single thing in their lives. They associate time to their emotions, to their thoughts, to when people get too obsessed with this or doing this, they begin exhibiting symptoms of not wanting to leave their comfort zones, not dealing with their fears or becoming too fearful, being way too cautious, not trying out new opportunities, all sorts of things like that. Another thing that I discussed in the last video, or another idea or attitude, it can be both, of luck. I discussed luck in the last video, how luck is this I think it's a very unhealthy way of thinking of the world. I do not base my life on luck. I do not think luck is even a real thing. It's not that I think. To me, personally, the word luck does not mean anything. The word time means nothing to me. Time, another thing I said in my last video was that time is it's an element of discipline and order. And this discipline and order is the reason we have numbers and time and things along, like these kind of things in our life or our lives. What we learn in school, all that stuff. School in general is a place of discipline and order. Well, that's the way I've seen it growing up. Now, all of this being said, control and power pretty much, it's implied when I was talking about confidence in the last video. It's amalgamated with confidence. Power and control, it's something you have whether you believe it or not. If you just really pay attention to things, little mundane things that you do every single day, if you pay attention to these things, you'll be utterly taken back by how much control and power you actually have in your life. Small, but you'll be surprised how much things you do on a daily basis that you actually do have control over. And I think because of the way that these ideas and attitudes are misinterpreted, I think this is the reason why people have so much health issues, mentally or emotionally or otherwise. And I think this is also the reason why people give up. Now, I don't know to what degree. I'm not going to pretend like I know. So, all that being said, let's get into this video, the second part. Now, something that I have always wanted to talk about is that the specific attitudes that further what I was talking about in the last video. This will further the perspective of these ideas. Now, I did and I have been using these thoughts and attitudes of mine and the way that I operate. I have been using it for coping it's a coping tool and a coping mechanism, while at the same time it for me it does help. So I will disclose this in this video. One of the many thoughts and attitudes that I have is that I really do think that people, or what life is an individual just going place to place, person to person in their lives. I think that's what life is. You're just going one place to another, person to person, place to place. You're just going one life to another. Now, when I say this, or when I try to articulate this, it gets misinterpreted as I'm saying that, oh, you just go one life to another, person to person, place to place, and there is no purpose or meaning. There's no meaning behind it. No, just because you're going one life to another, one person to another, does not mean it mitigates the meaning out of those parts of your life. That makes no sense. No, the meaning is still there. The purpose is still there. But at the same time, believe it or not, that is what you're doing throughout your life, is you're just going one place to another, person to another person, to another person, to another experience, to another experience, So that's one of the thoughts I have on life, or my perspective on life. There is no luck in it. There is no power. All that stuff you already have. So in a way, it's so unconscious. I mean, you're so unconscious of the little power and control and all this stuff that you have, the happiness and all this that you have. And you building on it because of your unconsciousness of it, it's almost like it's not even there. Doesn't mean it's not, but it's best to go with that perspective. Like, oh, well, it's so normal, it's not even there. So therefore, you're building on it without even knowing it, and it's a lot better like that. Because if you become too aware of happiness and become too aware of what is a, quote, loser, another meaningless word, perfection, if you focus too much on these words, of course you're going to become depressed and then loneliness. Okay, so I will touch on this first before I go further into my other perspectives of life. I will try to make this as organized as I can. And trust me, these all have links to each other. So loneliness is something that is commonly also misinterpreted. Now, to me, loneliness is not someone walking into an apartment or walking into a room for more than a day or so, or more. Like, they walk into a room and they're there for more than a day, or they're there for like 2 minutes, an hour, 2 hours. And because no one's in the room with them, they immediately start planting in their heads, oh man, I'm lonely. Which, to me, makes no sense. Okay, now here's my perspective on loneliness. Well, that was a part of it, but here's another part. That loneliness is a feeling. It's not so much as an actual... it's not an actual situation in one's life as much as a feeling. Now, this feeling can come from various different elements in you, rather that being you're feeling this because you feel stuck in your life, which the feeling of loneliness can come from you feeling stuck. It can happen. In that duration, you can stand there, sit there, whatever you're doing, and reflect to yourself, okay, well, I'm just feeling stuck. It happens. And then figure out actions to get through it. Now, I'm not saying that it's easy. That's not what I'm implying here. It will take multiple situations of you putting forth specific actions in order for this to begin developing begin not feeling as lonely anymore. But there can be many, many factors to this. Insecurity can make you feel lonely. You feeling angry all the time or despondent can make you feel lonely. Depression can make you feel lonely. Okay, there's a lot of different elements to this. But there are ways of dealing with it. That's why I say it's more of a feeling than a situation. Because, I mean, unless you deliberately isolate yourself, which people do. I'm not disregarding that. Unless you're deliberately isolating yourself, I mean, you're really not. I mean, think about it. You're really not lonely. You're really not. You just feel it because something is missing in your life, or you're not getting to your goals as fast as you want to, which is normal. Everyone goes through that. But this is where I said it, before I said all of this, that everything that I'm saying is amalgamated with one another. It all has attachments. This having attachment to the word loser, which a lot of people believe if you're lonely and you haven't done as much with your life or whatever, or you haven't gotten to your goals as fast as you wanted to, you're, quote, a loser. This word also means nothing. This word really has no definition to it. It's just something people say. I mean, really think about it. It's just something people say. It's the same thing as perfection. The word means nothing. Nobody is a loser. You're moving every single day. You are seeing things every single day. You're even small things, doing the small things, which a lot of society will overlook and disregard. Like, oh, well, doing the small things, that's not enough. Bullcrap. The small things that you do every single day is the reason you're not a loser. The thing is, okay, so if you can question, or if you can inquire to yourself, okay, well, have I given up? Have I completely given up on everything? Not even tried. Okay. That is a loser, but I mean, you really, really, really have to go into an attitude of just not wanting to try in general. But also, there's another side to the coin to this. Just because people don't want to try, it doesn't mean that they are losers, which is what I'm trying to get to here. There's two sides to the coin here. Someone that doesn't want to try, let me be more specific. Someone that doesn't want to try, but then will bash others for trying, or bash others for not trying. Let's really get into it. This is a loser. Someone that won't even try themselves, but yet will be immensely critical to ones or individuals that aren't trying or haven't attempted to try yet or are trying. Okay, that's a loser. But there's a reason that's so specific, because I really do experience a lot that people will attach the word loser to anything, to literally anything. Someone that doesn't look the same as them, someone that's not doing the same thing as them, or someone that's not doing what they want. Usually these people will be, there's not very much losers in the world. There's not. I mean, in reality, there's not very much losers. I mean, yeah, society's perception will probably tell you otherwise. Like, yeah, there's tons of losers. This guy's not doing what I want him to, and this guy's not doing what I want him to. They're not as big as we want to see society as, but whatever. So, that being said, none of you are losers. I'm not a loser. You're not a loser. No one is. Perfection is it's a word you should just drop out of your life, or doesn't mean anything. I don't live my life by luck. A lot of people do. That's okay. No problem with that, but I do think it's unhealthy. Time is a constructed concept by humans for order and discipline. That's why work and school are so heavily associated with time. So, all that being said, I will wrap up this video by saying that all of you have confidence, all of you have happiness, all of you have control. It's just in subtle ways that you don't realize a lot because you do it every single day. There's very, very, very little individuals out there that actually don't have control or actually don't have power. There's very little. But anyways, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for listening. This video has been 15 minutes long. So this is Circus Toons, and welcome to the circus.